Hello, hello! I'm back. Bet you didn't think I'd be back so soon, but I am. How we doing tonight? How are we doing this evening? I got a few stories for Friday, December 8th, 2023, and this is FnA headlines. Right off the get, we're going to jump right into this tonight. And I got a CBR article here about the Sony PlayStation Discovery Plus situation. If you haven't heard, on December 31st of this year, over 1,000 properties from Discovery Plus Warner will be removed from the Sony PlayStation library. Meaning, if you purchased any of these 1,000 series, if you purchased any of these, you're no longer going to have access to them, and no, you're not getting your money back. Warner Brothers sparks anger by pulling over 1,000 seasons of content from PlayStation users. Sony has announced over 1,300 seasons of Discovery Channel TV shows will be removed from PlayStation users' libraries, including popular series like Mythbusters, Shark Week, and Deadliest Catch. Despite being previously purchased, access to the content will be revoked on December 31st, 2023, due to licensing issues. This move has sparked outrage from among PlayStation owners, leading to a renewed call for fans to return back to physical media. Although many of these series don't have physical copies in circulation, the removal is attributed to evolving licensing agreements with content providers, leaving users unable to view purchased content in their library. This has raised concerns about the nature of digital purchases and the long-term availability of the content. So, like I said before, even if you purchased, say, 2 or 3 seasons of Mythbusters, which I'm guilty of. I believe I have 2 seasons of Mythbusters that I purchased years ago. Granted, I don't watch them anymore. I haven't watched them in probably a few years now, but I bought seasons of Mythbusters, and I'm no longer going to be able to get it there. Even if you purchased a few seasons of Deadliest Catch, you will no longer have access. Now, how are PlayStation users reacting to this news? What's interesting is there's a few tweets on here that we'll go over. J-Rock, disgusting behavior. And yeah, it is absolutely disgusting behavior. I don't see how this is any different than, say you go out to Walmart and you buy a Blu-ray of Mythbusters. All right, let's keep it with the same media. We go buy a Blu-ray of Mythbusters from Walmart, you bring it home, and then Sony sneaks in the middle of the night and snatches that Blu-ray and takes it back. He steals it from you, right? How is it any different? We paid Sony money. Here you go. Here's some money. Give me some content. And I've heard the argument, and you'll see it here. You know, you're not in the fine print, you're not buying, you're kind of leasing. But if you're paying full price, you know what I'm saying? If you're paying full price, if you're paying the same amount as you would for the physical copy, I feel like a lot of people aren't understanding that most of Discovery content getting removed from PlayStation Store literally doesn't have a physical release. Hardly anything under the reality umbrella has gotten a physical release in the last 13 years. And that's true. You can't buy these on a Blu-ray or DVD. You can't go to Walmart and pick up some of these titles. And for some of these titles, this is the only place that we could get them for a long time while we bought them. And I'm assuming that Warner Media is trying to drive more traffic to their streaming service, aka HBO Max. I mean, but it's at the same time, it's such a shady way to go about it. PlayStation's biting the bullet, and they're just passing the buck down to their customers. And people give me a hard time for still buying physical. LOL. By the way, this is a Discovery problem, not a hashtag PlayStation problem. So don't turn it into a console warring, which I'm sure some will. Well, yeah, they're absolutely going to be console warring, because you've heard the phrase shoot the messenger. You've heard the phrase don't shoot the messenger. Well, they say that because more often than not, the messenger gets shot right in the face. And that's clearly what's going to happen here. Jake Who Remains says, oh, so it appears a lot of y'all don't know this. When you buy a digital copy, you're simply purchasing a license to view. You do not own that movie. Think of it more like a movie ticket. You get to watch the movie, but you don't own it. My advice, just buy a physical copy. I get that. We're paying for the convenience. There was a little bit of a deduction in price, if I'm correct. Say, $25 to $30 for a new release Blu-ray, Hollywood film, versus usually about $20 for a 4K copy on Amazon, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. I wonder if Xbox is next on this. We're going to have to wait and see, but let me know what you guys think. I'm curious what if you guys have purchased any of these shows. If you're still watching these shows, how does this affect you? Well, let me know. Moving on here, we're going to get into Jonathan Majors and his first week of court this week. The trial of actor Jonathan Majors, who was arrested on assault and harassment charges in Manhattan, has been ongoing. His ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, testified for 4 days this week, with the defense focusing on her actions after the alleged abuse. That's her. The defense has sought to paint Jabari as physically aggressive and mentally unstable. While Majors has insisted on his innocence, the trial, which began on December 4th, is expected to resume on Monday, December 11th. The prosecution and defense have presented conflicting accounts, and the public is awaiting more information and evidence. The trial has garnered significant attention, but without being able to observe the proceedings directly, it is challenging to form a definitive opinion. It's been a long week for myself. Hence the tongue-tied. The case has involved emotional testimony and preservation of surveillance footage, with both sides seeking to establish their version of the event. The trial has also raised broader questions about the dynamics of the relationship between Majors and Jabari. The outcome of the trial will ultimately be determined by the evidence presented and the decision of the court. And ultimately, that is what we're going to have to wait for. I think there's only supposed to be one more week of this trial. And right now, I don't think it's looking too good for Jabari. There has been a few videos and audio recordings that have been released, as far as I know. And like I said, we got one more week of this trial. I know my other half will have a very detailed report on the podcast show on Sunday. And she actually wrote me an article for this show tonight. And I was going to read that. And I said, oh, that's way too long. That's a very detailed report. So I summed it up a little bit. And that's what I gave you. Because we got to move on to this next big story, which is a huge story. It's almost every day at this point, and I'm talking Deadpool 3 leaks. Let's get on a happier note, shall we? We're talking Deadpool 3 leaks, and I got pictures. Boom. Look at that. What got going on there? Fix that. All right. So, if you've been on Twitter and you follow the same channels I do, then every time you open your Twitter feed, you got brand new Deadpool 3 leaks. And I got a few of the most recent Deadpool 3 leaks that just dropped, and let's get through these. And this first one here is absolutely wild. Clearly here, Deadpool is in Mickey's pocket, as seen here. Mickey Mouse thought nobody was looking, but the paparazzi definitely got him red-handed. You can see Mickey Mouse paying off Deadpool. Hugh Jackman's kind of like pretending like he hasn't seen what's going on, but he's kind of looking over his shoulder. You can see him there. And, well, Deadpool, he don't really care. He's holding the money up. He's like, look, I just got paid by Mickey Mouse. This is why I'm doing it, clearly. Moving on here, we also got confirmed that the Predator will also make his debut in the Void. As you can see here in this picture, you got Hugh Jackman, his stunt double, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, and the Predator. The only thing I can say is hopefully they can find some mud somewhere in the Void. That way they can start hiding a little bit better. That was terrible, by the way. Yep, Predator. Then holy smokes, look at here. We got John Wick, Walter White, Daenerys Targaryen, Batman, the Joker, and the friggin' Ninja Turtles. At this point, who's not in Mickey Mouse's pocket, right? He's got a little bit of everything in there. Are they going to save anything for this movie? And then clearly here, if James Gunn didn't want him, Kevin Feige quickly swooped in and picked up Henry Cavill to reprise his role as Superman, as seen here. I mean, some of these photos are absolutely incredible. Some kind of crazy car behind Hugh Jackman right there. Look at him. If you look around his face, he's pretending like he can't see anything. But he's looking. He sees you. He sees what you're up to, Wade Wilson. And then, we got to go through these again. This is just incredible. The yellow suit. That almost looks like Liam Hemsworth right there, huh? You heard it here first. Liam Hemsworth confirmed also to be in Deadpool 3. This is going to be such an incredible movie with all these cameo characters. I mean, this is probably going to be one of the more expensive films in Hollywood history as well. And what an incredible image here, folks. You got John Wick eating it. What do you think? Do you think Deadpool could beat John Wick in a fight? Or do you think the other way around? John Wick would give him a run for his money at least, right? Deadpool would totally win. He got the healing factor, brah. And then Walter White right here. Clearly they're making a drug deal behind the set, right? They're making drug deals. And then you got a camera guy right here. He got it all on film. And then check this out. Daenerys Targaryen. Reprising her role. Emilia Clarke. Even though she was just in Secret Invasion, it doesn't matter. We're going to bring her back here. We're probably going to have some dragons too, right? Might as well put some dragons in there. Batman, the Joker, and Raphael friggin' right? Absolutely incredible. And this last shot right here, folks. Henry Cavill Superman. Henry Cavill Superman. On set. Deadpool 3. This is going to be incredible. Make sure you come back if you want more of these updated Deadpool 3 leaks. You heard it here first. In all seriousness, I'm going to play the game. Ryan Reynolds put this out. Deadpool began with a leak. And if you don't remember, Deadpool 1 almost was not made. Deadpool 1 was a concept. They got a concept put together, primarily CGI, and somehow it leaked online, creating a very high demand with the fans for this movie to be put into production. So Ryan Reynolds says, Deadpool began with a leak, so I'm joining in. But please don't overuse the phrase Deadpool leaks, because it might screw up search results if anyone is looking for Deadpool leaks, Deadpool spoilers, or perhaps Deadpool scoops. What a baller move. I love it. I was just saying the other day on the podcast, we were talking about all these Deadpool leaks and how it's kind of a shame that we're getting so much. A leak or two here is fun. It allows us to speculate. It allows us to start wondering, right? I wonder where they're at, what they're doing. But, I mean, at this point, it's almost daily that we get these new images coming out. And, I mean, I'm with them enough already. Save some of it for the movie. You know what I'm saying? Save some of it for when we're sitting in the theater. Could you imagine? Put yourself in this world that we didn't get any Deadpool leaks, okay? Put yourself in this position that we didn't see any of this. Moneybags Mickey. Put yourself in the mindset that you didn't see any of this, right? And then July 26, 2023 comes along, and you're sitting in the movie theater, and let's say Deadpool, he's, we're about 15, 20 minutes into the film, and he just left the TVA because we heard some leaks maybe, but we didn't see nothing. And maybe we come to a doorway, and we see a figure in this doorway. Just a silhouette. We see the high hair, right? We see the outline. We know it's Hugh Jackman. We know it's Wolverine. But he steps out, and we get a clear view, and there he is standing in the yellow and blue suit. And that's the first time you see it. My friends, you're going to have yourself a Captain America Mjolnir moment right then and there. You remember Endgame? You remember that? It was incredible. When Captain America picked that hammer up and started swinging that thing around, I don't know about you, but my theater lost their friggin' minds, dude. They lost their friggin' minds. Everyone. The house shook. And that was probably the wildest theatrical reaction I had ever witnessed personally. When Captain America picked up that hammer. Unreal. And if you were in a movie theater somewhere, I'm sure you had a similar experience, especially if you went that opening weekend. Now back to what I was saying. Imagine the first time we see Hugh Jackman in the yellow and blue was in the theater. We would have had that moment. I promise we would have had that moment. But unfortunately, like he said in his other statement, telephonic lenses are ruining things. Now, call me crazy. I'm not real sure what's going on here. I know it's a Photoshop and they're being funny, but I can't read it. What do you got on that? I'm not sure. I like this one. This one's funny. Wally, lower the cue cards. That outfit is just bitching, right? That outfit is bad as shit. That yellow outfit is so badass. I wonder if any of those former Fox producers are looking at these images and seeing how the internet's reacting to it and going, man, we should have greenlit that shit. You know what I mean? Like, why didn't they do that before? I guess there was a little bit of a taboo, right? There was like that taboo of the superhero in tights and looking cheesy, but I don't know. In the same era, they did, they had Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, in his tights, and that worked. Why did Fox have to absolutely collapse and be bought up by the Mickey Mouse in order for us to get the yellow and blue? I don't get it. And that's Steve Urkel. Look at that. That's funny. Steve Urkel. All right, that's cool, man. I like it. I dig it. I love it. I want some more of it. That's super awesome. Well, that's all I got for this evening. That's all I got. That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. So, I'll be back Monday for another FnA headlines. But I'll also be back here probably about an hour. Let's say half an hour to an hour. I'll be back. I think I'm going to play some video games tonight. I think I'm feeling either a little Mario or a little Zelda. Not sure yet. But until then, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know what you think about all these crazy photographs going on. Let me know what's going on with Jonathan Majors. Do you think he's guilty? Do you think he's going to get out of this? And if he does get out of it, is he still going to be Kang? Are we still going to get Kang in the MCU? I don't know. Hit that subscribe button. Check me out on Twitch. And I'll see you in the next video.